Welcome one and all. This is WESN Content Capital, Face of Sports. It's Friday, so there's fun in store for you a little bit later. We're going to start today, though, talking with a young lady who has joined us. She's been here before. She is Miss Abini Pro Club. She joins us. She's, of course, a IFBB Elite Pro athlete. And she joined us to talk about her sport and to talk about a situation that has arisen over the last 6 months in particular involving her. Abini, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Andre.
Abini, first, before, just explain to people who don't know, what does IFBB Elite Pro Athlete mean?
Okay, so IFBB Elite is International Federation of Bodybuilding Elite Professional Athlete. That's the league I belong to now. I'm a professional athlete.
So, not a bodybuilder?
Now, bodybuilding is the sport,
right.
And in the sport you have amateurs as well as professional athletes.
Right.
I'm no longer an amateur as of 2019, so I'm now a professional athlete.
How has it been for you?
A bit quiet because after 2019 I was getting ready to compete at Barbados again in 2020, and that's right when we got our first lockdown of COVID. Yeah. So that just put a damper on my career until last year when I jumped back out to compete for the first time since in Barbados.
Did you miss it so much?
Yes, I really did. I was looking forward to it.
What about bodybuilding from that perspective? Because you are not a bodybuilder. Tell us the class that you in. Because I mean, we have some photos we'll show people, but give us an idea.
Okay, so there are different categories. I'm in the category called body fitness, or otherwise known as figure. Right. You have bikini, which is very slender looking. You kind of probably call it a beach body, but still you can see that this person is working out, has a fit look, tone and everything. Body fitness has a lot more muscle than bikini. Then you have women's physique, which is a lot more muscular, and not just muscular, but in total overall size, they are a lot bigger than the previous two categories. And there's also wellness fitness. For those more curvaceous women who don't want to come down as small as a bikini, or it just doesn't suit their body type, they have that category for them as well.
So you are in
body fitness.
How did you get involved in that? Again, remind us.
So initially, I was in the gym one day just training, and I asked the owner of the gym about bodybuilding. I don't remember how that conversation even came up or how it came to my mind. And he said, hey, well, all this weekend, this was actually October that year, he said, you know, all this weekend having bodybuilding competitions all around the world. He said, but we're looking to have one next year, and we're having a meeting on Saturday to discuss it. Why not come? So I was like, well, okay, cool. No harm in hearing what it's about. And the president of the federation, Susanna Haddad, told me, she's like, well, okay, you're between two categories because of my physique. At the point in time, I could have done either bikini or body fitness, which is where I'm at now. I said, well, I'll do bikini because I'm not sure if I will really like this thing. Let's see how much training and all what goes into it. So I started off at bikini as an amateur. I did that from 2013 to September 2018. I did it the last time in 2018 because I said, you know what, I just want to close off with a win. So I did, and then I transitioned. I started to prep myself for the category that I'm in right now, which is body fitness.
And from your perspective, getting involved with it, what did you find challenging about it?
The eating. I thought I used...
Eating?
Yeah.
Or the lack of eating?
No, I had to eat more, and I thought, well, I was eating plenty already, but...
Why you had to eat more? To put on what size?
The muscle and size, yeah. And I am what you call a hard gainer or an ectomorph. So if it says you are consuming...
An ectomorph?
Yes, that's a body type.
Yes.
If it is...
How you know your body type? Somebody told you? Or?
No, well, just over the years of training and education and that sort of thing, you learn the different body types and they give you the aesthetics. Either you're naturally athletic looking, even if it is you're not athletic, and they give you the whole breakdown. Plus, it's very hard for you to gain muscle, and you naturally look lean, very little body fat. So, I know that was
what you
definitely...
had to eat extra? Meat?
Yeah, definitely. My protein intake had to go up, and for my body type as well, carbs, I could say, is my best friend. So while the other two body types don't really favor carbs as much, it's really good for me to help with the mass building aspect.
And from the perspective of getting involved in it, and staying in it. Remember you said you started off in bikini, so you moved on, or you moved on?
So I moved from bikini to body fitness, where I'm at right now.
And the reason for that was?
I felt like I was falling so in love with not just the sport, but the training, and the fact that...
Lifting those heavy things?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You see, a lot of people start off like, nah, I don't really want to do that, or I don't want to get too muscular, especially women. They tell you, I don't want my shoulders, I want to look too manly.
So you didn't worry about that?
No, because you see, again, self-education, I understand that whether or not I start to get muscular, I prefer to have muscle now that is going to carry me into my old age than not have none now and be worse off down the road. As people start to get osteoporosis, curvature of the spine, and they're bending over, they can't stand up straight, aches and pains in the joints. I mean, yes, we get some of those things generally as a young person, but it can also come from other situations as well. And then when you have more muscle on your body, it protects you from injuries. So if it says you get hit with a bat or something, instead of it breaking the limb or so, you might just get a black and blue, a little bruise, and the doctor might tell you it's a good thing you have all that size or that muscle because you might have break your foot. You know?
What about the reaction from other females because maybe the exact reason what you would have mentioned, some females would not want to do it because other females might look at them and say, hey, you could be beginning to look like a man.
So from the females, I definitely get the obsession with my back. They love how my back looks. Let me borrow your back now, carnival coming up. I was like, well, if it was so easy.
Borrow your back, right?
Yeah, I would have learned it to you, but unfortunately, we can't do that. Oh, I really like your legs. I don't want my shoulders, you know, too much like that, but I like your legs and that sort of thing.
So it's been generally positive. Would you say it's positive? Because
yeah,
I'm saying that for other people. Yeah.
I do think I have gotten like one or two, obviously, because again.
Is it more negative from men or more negative from women?
From women. Yeah, and you see again, that's just because of culture, education. Women have been brought up in this type of way that, you know, women supposed to be inside, cooking, not under the car doing mechanics. So you're not supposed to have all that muscle.
You cook?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, go continue the conversation and make it sure. Go ahead.
You know, you're not supposed to have all that muscle because average women tend to have more fat on her body, looking a little, you know, fluffier looking or more feminine. But again, that's just like a traditional thing, and people break tradition all the time.
Are you seeing from being involved in the sport, are you seeing that tradition being broken in Trinidad and Tobago, or you still feel the majority of women align to that traditional value?
A lot of them align to the traditional value because I believe where it pertains to bodybuilding and sports, I don't think enough persons starting from primary school are really being pushed into sport. And I actually say, like, in a couple of years, you mightn't have anything going on here. You might just have where maybe you have a 1 or 2 clubs or something where you can start off your skill, whatever it is you like, and first opportunity of being able to leave here, you will leave.
Is it so bad?
I think so.
When you started, will you say you were one of the pioneers or there were others as well? I
would definitely say that I am, because when bikini started here, it actually started in Barbados first. And then I think the president had a talk with the guy over there who was organizing it and so forth, and she brought it here. So it was myself, and I'm actually the only one who's still competing at the point in time from the females
where
who started
where have the others gone?
Just off the grid, who stopped compete altogether, who migrated. I know of one who has started back training. I don't know if it is she's going to make a reappearance to the stage, but I know she has started back competing. I mean, training maybe about 6 months or more now. But I am the only one from bikini that is still competing.
So is it fair to say, before we go to our first break, is it fair to say that some ladies have lost interest?
Definitely. You see, what we look for is while you're competing, yes, we don't expect to get back as a winning all the money that we output for the sport. That is a lot of money, right? But
how much money, sir?
I would say if you're starting from scratch, like your body has never seen muscle before, I would say a year prep, about 77,000 plus. Yeah.
Wow. Is this for a particular event or over the whole year?
No, this is over the whole year. Getting ready. So, okay, let's say I'm now looking to start. So, gym membership. I don't even think I added gym membership in there. This is just like food till that time. And then, well, obviously, as a female, you have your hair, your suits are acquire, registration fee.
What you still have your hair for? You're going to compete what you do?
You have to do up your hair. Is the whole aesthetics, not just, you know, the walk, but we have an I walk or a T walk
so you
on
must do
stage.
your hair.
Yeah. Just like the men, they look at you being well.
The men don't do their hair. Come on.
Yeah, they go for the little mark and, you know, make sure they well put together and stuff for the stage. Because the judges look at that as well. It's a whole presentation.
All right, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we're going to go more in depth as to what has happened recently to Abini Pro Club. We'll be back. Welcome back, welcome back. This is WESN Content Capital Face of Sports this Friday. We've got Abini Pro Club with us. Abini, so let's talk about what would have transpired. We're going to put up some photos. What has happened to you of late?
Okay, so going back to last September, on the 14th to be exact, I was simply crossing the road and I twisted my ankle. It happened so fast, I was like, I froze right there and I was like, what just happened? I was like, oh my God, I think I broke my leg. I just hopped across the rest of the road onto the pavement and that was it. I couldn't move. By the time I looked down, my ankle was swollen beyond the width of my pants leg. And I had to call a friend of mine. Good thing wasn't too far from where I was standing. And he had to lift me across the road, went back into the same copying place and sat down on the ground to put up my foot on the chair to get some elevation. I got a car to carry me to the hospital and they ran an x-ray. They said nothing was broken. First thing was on my mind because I was actually prepping to go to the Arnold Classic, which I got invited to for the second time. And I said, Doc, would I be able to go? I'm supposed to be leaving in a couple of weeks. He said, yeah, you'll be able to compete.
Oh, you could go?
Yeah, he said, yeah, you'll be able to go. The swelling should be down in about 2 days. So this was a Thursday, right? So by Saturday, it should have been down. By Saturday, I realized I could not even put down my foot because as I started to put down my foot, I would feel this immense amount of burning in the foot. I had to bend the foot wherever I was at the point in time or hustle back to my bed or something to elevate it. My foot was getting black at this point in time. I said, no way I'm going to be able to do this show. I'm just being realistic with myself at this point in time. And I just messaged the judges and whoever I had contact with, IFBB, and I told them, I said, here's what, I injured myself. I will not be able to compete because I had to give them the okay so they would book my hotel room and everything. And good thing I did not pay for anything. Right. And, you know, they sent their best wishes for me and so forth. And the Tuesday, which was the 19th, I went back to the hospital because, again, the foot is still swollen. I can't put it down. So
you saw the same doctor?
No, I saw another doctor.
Okay, good, maybe good.
I saw another doctor, and I had to keep this foot elevated right through the minute. It looks like it's slimming down, and I put down that foot, swelling going back up.
Wow.
So I told her what happened, and they sent me for another x-ray. Said nothing is broken. They put my foot in a slab. So my foot was in a slab from September the 19th until October the 16th.
So if nothing is broken, what happened?
So they also said that the reason why they put my foot on the slab is because the amount of swelling was on my foot. They didn't know if it is that the x-ray just wasn't able to see through all of that. So they said we will do one again when the swelling goes down. So we did do one. So between September the 19th and October the 16th, I went to change the slab within that time. And they did another x-ray and they said, you know, we don't have a fracture or anything like that. And well, October the 16th, they said, well, we're taking it off. So I was like, well, what's going on from here? And they gave me a referral for doing physiotherapy, which didn't start until November the 20th. Now just listen to the gap, right?
Yeah, big gap, yeah.
Physiotherapy. So obviously, even if it is I was of the belief that I could have competed, look, that time gone because I was supposed to leave October the 10th. Clearly that wasn't going to happen. And even if that was the case, the impact, the trauma that the foot went through, I remember I still have to train. and do legs, I would not have been able to do any of that. So I started the physiotherapy. That was November the 20th. And then
where did you do the physiotherapy?
Mount Hope.
Okay.
And then my next session wasn't until December the 11th. After that, my other session was, I think, February this year. So look at the gaps. So the only way you are actually going to recover, if you want to recover, is if you have the money to go private to do what needs to be done.
So when you go to Mount Hope, these are the dates they give you to return.
Yes.
Such a massive gap.
Yes.
Is it because of demand? I presume it's demand.
Yeah, so they say, and I guess also the lack of physiotherapists to accommodate the influx of people, because remember, somebody injured themselves now, but the length of time it's taken for them to be able to probably use the limb again, they have to be coming back for maybe over a period of a year or so.
Wow.
So all this time, and when I first went to my session while I waiting to go in, a lady said, she was talking to another lady next to her, and she's like, Gil, she said I might be paralyzed right now if it is I didn't have money to go and get physiotherapy on the outside. And I'm just there like, oh my gosh.
So what's the status with it now?
So February, I saw a girlfriend of mine, another doctor, and she was like, girl, you're still limping, like this foot hasn't healed us yet. She's like, why don't you check out Dr. So-and-so? So I went, I did an MRI, and when I got back the results, the doctor read it for me, and basically, in a nutshell, he said, you're not supposed to be running. I was like, well, I can't run already, because I don't have dorsiflexion, range of motion. I can't squat and those sort of things. It is affecting my hips, it's affecting my knees, because everything is compensating.
So it was such a bad sprain?
It's a grade 3 sprain that I have.
Grade 3.
Yes, so anything after that, I would have probably broken the foot.
Wow.
And based on what I was told, I kind of started to tell myself maybe I'd just break the foot and done, because it is a lot easier for bone to heal than the ligaments. So he said, no running, no, I was like, no walking. He's like, well, I know you have to walk, but as little as possible, you really need to stay off of this foot. So I just went in a depression there, because I have not been working since September last year. So, and I'm not the type of person to just be sitting down doing nothing. I'm very active outside of the gym. So you're telling me not even walking? So after that, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do surgery. He said I needed to do surgery. He pulled out, you know, the dummy foot and was explaining everything to me based on the report and so on. And I was just so traumatized. That is like the last option for me with anything. So I went again to another doctor. My mom was like, hey, why don't you try Dr. So-and-so? I was like, you know, I really didn't think of that. So I did, and we did an ultrasound. And we found out now that I have 3 damaged areas of the foot, which was not stated in the MRI. Now, the only thing we do not know is if either the MRI just didn't pick it up at the point in time, or because I have been on the foot,
And make it worse.
It has gotten worse. And I do believe it has gotten worse.
I think probably that is it.
Yeah, because even before the MRI, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I feel like my foot getting worse. I'm feeling a pain here and this, and I can't do this anymore. I can't curl my toes without my middle toe sticking out.
Wow.
I have a lot of issues going on with the foot, and obviously it is throwing off the alignment of everything else where my body's concerned, because if something in the body is not operating as it should, other areas are going to compensate for that. And that is what's happening. So now I need constant physiotherapy, not just for the ankle, but for my hips, for my knees, because I can't climb stairs. I have to climb stairs very funny, 1 foot flat, 1 foot up. It's very weird and very uncomfortable. So now I have a procedure to do, a PRP procedure, which is platelet-rich plasma, and also to insert a gel into the foot to help with the stability of the ankle, which is costing me approximately $13,000. And that's just for that procedure. We're not talking about the physiotherapy that I need to do thereafter.
Have they told you, this you mean it's private physiotherapy?
Yeah.
So where, have you found somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have some, what's the cost like?
So the cost is actually the $13,000, and I need to do that as soon as possible, because again, based on what we are seeing, clearly the foot is getting worse. And well, it's almost a year already since this has happened. So internally the foot would be healing. However, it wants to heal and not how it should be healing.
All right, so you've set up a GoFundMe account. Let's have a look at GoFundMe account. Talk us through it. Obviously, for those watching this program and maybe just talking about it, and we, of course, we're streaming here as well. Tell us about it.
So this is the GoFundMe account my cousin in the States set up for me because we can't set up, I think, a GoFundMe, an international type of GoFundMe here. We have one for Trinidad, but I don't think it really has the reach like this actual GoFundMe. So this is one I set up here. This is the QR code you all could scan to lend your support at how much ever possible. You know, every drop does fill the buckets, and I'll be greatly appreciated for whatever persons can contribute. I'm looking to see if I can get this done by the latest, the end of August. Also, my story is attached, well, briefly, my story is attached to this. So when you either click the link, if it is, well, you saw it on Facebook or wherever, or you scan the code here, it will take you directly to the page. You'll see the same photo and you'll be able to read my story. This interview here, I'm also going to post on my YouTube channel where I'll be able to attach it here as well, because what I believe in and what I like very much is transparency. At the end of the day, you're asking people for their hard-earned money to support something. And when you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see previous videos I have posted from the start of my injury until I think maybe early this year. I haven't done a recent update on the situation as yet other than this interview here. So this interview would also be linked to it, so anybody anywhere around the world will be able to view it and know what it is taking place.
What's been the response so far since you put it out?
Very poor. I think I only had probably one person contribute, so I'm hoping that after this interview it would get some more reach.
How do you feel?
I am somewhat in and out of like a depression sometimes, because this could really throw me off. After I get this procedure done, it will determine if it is I'll be able to compete, because legs is a very important part of your physique makeup, and I wanted to do legs like twice already this week, but I really couldn't because of the pressure. Even simply if I sit too long, if I have to get up, it's like I'm hopping all over again. So it's a lack of circulation as well. And that picture that was just shown on the screen, my foot is still like that in terms of the color because of a lack of oxygen and blood circulation in the foot.
So in terms of the physiotherapy, you can't act, you must pay them one time as you do it. There's no you don't know anybody in that willing to maybe
payment plan sort of thing.
No. How depressing is this for you?
I'm very strong-minded, so I would say I'm out of the woods in terms of the level of depression I was going through when it initially happened, because I had to get help to do almost everything. And my mom was leaving the country, I think, at the point in time. And so she had to bring everything. I had my little kettle, everything plugged in right there, my breakfast, everything right there for me. Every time I had to go to the bathroom, well, I had my crutches. So the first day when I didn't have my crutches, that was insane.
Well, I don't know how you could walk without your crutches.
I was actually hopping on one leg down the corridor to get to the bathroom. And that started to cause an impact on the right leg. Now hopping, it was that jumping there was interfering with the ankle on the other side now. And everything I had to do was, I had to keep that foot elevated. By all means. I wasn't outside, I was at my little garden there, I wasn't able to do that, and forcefully at the I'm like, look, enough is enough. So my mom set up a chair and everything, and I would cock up my foot on the raised beds and stuff, just to still try and feel like, you know, a little sense of normality. But I wasn't going a place, I couldn't do anything.
How about your peers, others involved in the sport? Did they come forward?
No. A lot of people was
like,
why
you laugh?
Because this is really an independent sport, and not just an independent sport, but you're really doing everything independently. So, you know, asking about my peers is almost like non-existent because you're really independent. I had two friends, Kirk and Maritza, who were really there for me, always checking up on me. Hey, Absy, how you doing? How's the foot? It's like, hey, well, we're going for a drive or whatever. So I there with the crutches, getting in the car and stuff, and yeah, and then I had my another friend, Lamon. Well, we started to go gym back in November. That was really good. Even though I was going gym at the point in time, I was now checking to see what I could do from what I couldn't do. And my physiotherapist at the point in time, Jeremy, really thanks to him, all the exercises that I was doing at that point in time was really working. Now, I couldn't do anything immediately. So if I'm about to do a squat, I had to be warming up this foot extensively before I do anything. And if I do this set here, as I'm done, I have to go back warming up. I had to constantly keep the blood hot in order to do anything. If it is I was to try again, it would be like, she faking or what? How she was just walking normal, and it's just because of the coolness. And then in the gym as well, extremely cold, so that wasn't helping at all. So any lack of movement or temperature, cool temperature, it's bad.
Is there regret now from Abini that you got into this sport at all?
No, none whatsoever.
Even though you're in all this pain now?
It's not like the sport caused this. And that's the first thing that everybody thought, that, you know, you was gymming. I'm like, no, I was not in the gym. I was simply crossing the road. And it's funny because when something has to happen to you, it will happen. It's almost like Final Destination. No matter how you try to dodge it, it will happen. Because people think that, oh, you maybe you step off the pavement. But no, I had already stepped off the pavement. I was waiting behind a car here, was at a standstill, waiting for the opposite side of the road to clear. And as I was about to make that step, my foot just went flat left and back up. Just like that, just this quick twist.
Given all of the treatment that you want the funding for, what sort of recovery time do they give you?
The doctor said 3 weeks for the swelling to go down, but I really have to stay off of the foot at that point in time and keep it elevated. But as much as he said 3 weeks, that's just for the swelling to go down and maybe some movement to now start to take place. I really can't say how long it will take me after that, because one would have thought that, okay, we took up the slab last year, I should be able to walk and do everything like normal, since they looked at it as, you know, it was just like a grade 1 sprain, you know, you just twist your foot badly, a small thing, and that's not the case. And it had me thinking so much, because I said to myself, this is why sometimes you might see people walking around with hand twists up and all sort of thing. Not just necessarily that maybe either the faking or so, but they didn't get the treatment that they needed. Maybe they were wrongfully diagnosed. Maybe they didn't have the money to do what they really needed to do in order to get the limb straightened out or something, which is exactly my position. And I'm wondering to myself, if I don't get this procedure done, then I would probably never be able to walk normally again. I would always have to be constantly massaging this foot or giving it some kind of warm-up or something before I move.
All right, we're going to take a short break. This is WESN Content Capital Face of Sports. We've got the 3 o'clock news coming up next. When we come back, we continue with the Abini Pro Club. We'll be back. Welcome back. This is WESN Content Capital Face of Sports. Abini Pro Club is here with us, and we're just going to recap some of what has happened. Abini, I know you wanted to make some points.
Yes, so I also reached out to Tobias Otley from Sport TT.
Yes.
So, because I was advised, you know, try and get on to some persons in terms of the health and fitness sectors that could possibly lend some support. I have not heard back from him as yet. I reached out to Jassy Marika as well.
When you reached out to Tobias, did you speak to him at all or not?
Well, no, I don't have his phone number. I have his email. Plus, we were already in contact like some years before when I was doing bikini. So I sent him a message on that account, letting him know, you know, look out for an email. And then I also sent the email as well. Today is Friday. I probably sent that Wednesday.
So Tobias didn't respond?
No response as yet. I also reached out to someone I know at the Ministry of Sport who guided me in terms of it having grants for these sort of things. Yes. So I printed it, and I am to drop it.
There's a form to fill out as well.
So I printed the form this morning to go and drop it off for them.
It's getting too long, you know, Abini. You should have got it done already.
I didn't know about this. Now, this is our next thing. A lot of the grants are available for persons in different things, whether it's agriculture or whatever the case is. But a lot of the times, if you're not in it, you don't know about it. And it's only when a situation happens, then maybe
So you haven't given in the form as yet?
No. So I printed the form this morning. I got the information yesterday. I printed the form today. If I have the opportunity with this traffic and so to reach across here, I'm going to drop it in.
You could drop it on Monday, but
if not,
I have all the supporting documents.
Yes, I will drop it in on Monday, God's willing. I also reached out to Jassy Marika. I think that's from Guardian. Don't quote me.
Yes, it's okay.
So Let me see who else. I have some contacts as well to reach out to some other persons. I'm trying to see if I could reach out to the Minister of Health as well to see if it is, I could get some kind of funding, because it's kind of sad to know that I am a professional athlete. Apart from professional, but I'm an athlete who have been representing Trinidad and Tobago since 2013. I've always been put in this country on the map. It's not to say I come in last or something. I've always come in the top 4, top 10, that sort of thing. 2019, which is the last summer I went to World Championships, I ranked 10th in the world. And now I have to dig out of my own pocket, to get the necessary treatment that I need to then look to go back on stage next year to still wave the red, white, and black. That's kind of sad. So I am looking to see if
I want to clarify. Tobias Utley from Sport TT, you wrote to him.
Yes.
Facebook, you said?
Email.
Email. You have his email and no response?
No.
Okay. All right. Something to look into. Certainly. As you go, what message do you want to send to the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
I would just appreciate very much the support of my fans, my followers, or anyone who comes across this story, even if it is your support means sharing the story to someone who might possibly be able to come to my aid, whether it is with advice or direction as to whoever else I can reach out to. Any little will be greatly appreciated.
How have you kept yourself so calm during these times, Abini?
I have a mental breakdown ever so often.
Which is
from time to time, my boyfriend is there supporting me, massaging the foot. Sometimes I would feel like...
Yeah, the man massaging your foot?
Gladly. No complaints there at all. And when
so that is why you don't want to go back to a massage therapist, because you're getting that massage? Is that the reason? Really?
Andre.
Okay, but go ahead. Go ahead.
So it helps a lot with the circulation of the foot.
Yes.
And I feel like, I could run, because I've actually been able to run on the treadmill twice since this injury.
Is that good?
No, it's not. But sometimes when you have that nerve like attacking you, like, you just feel the urge to do something, but I don't overdo it. Maybe like at 30 seconds. And I'm like, okay, I got that little feeling. It was great, and enough is enough. So, that is that with the foot. I try to keep myself motivated. I always look back on my videos of my training and so forth, and I'm like, you know what? This is just another obstacle for me. I can't say I've probably been through worse where injuries are concerned, but I know with my mindset, I can overcome this, and I will look back at it as just another day in the park.
So people, you see it on the screen there. We're asking you, for those of you interested, those of you can fund any amount of money, a grade 3 sprained ankle, you see in the GoFundMe account is there. You can scan to donate. You've seen all the information here on WESN. If you can always reach out to us if you want to get in contact with her and give her, you want to give her, and people can, they want to contact you.
Yeah, sure. My number is 707-3654.
707
3654.
3654. Only call if you are interested in helping her with the grade 3 sprained ankle GoFundMe. Remember what I've just told you. That's the only reason you need to call, really, for those of you out there. Abini, keep us in touch.
Yes, I will.
Follow it. Please go ahead and send the information to the grant funding.
Yes.
I know that there is a funding for this. And I'll try myself to see if you can get into Tobias Utley and find out why there has been no response. Maybe he didn't receive it in all fairness to him. But I thank you very much.
Thanks for having me,
Andre. Wish you all the best. And we continue to monitor this. Abini Pro Club in need of help. Let's watch the GoFundMe account one last time for those of you out there who maybe may have missed it. Here it is. Remember, this show is being streamed. You can go back and watch it as well and get more information. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back. Thank you very much, Abini.
Thanks, Andy.